Okay, so today we're moving into the next section of our class. We have looked at some of the basic aspects of social structure and culture. We have looked at the different bases of identity and inequality. And now we're going to look at different social institutions, starting with the family. To start off with, I'd actually like you to pause the video now and draw in your notes a picture of a family. Okay, so today's mini little lecture is going to get into what social institutions are and thinking of the family as an institution. And there's a reason why I had you draw that picture, because it's going to help us think about what a family is and what an institution is. So social institutions can be defined as organizing and organized patterns of positions, roles, and relations. Now, we've already looked at positions and roles before. You will recall they're some of the basic elements of social structure, and that we looked at them in our media assignment when we look at the different positions or roles we occupy on social media. But we can also look at organized positions and roles and relationships among them as an example of a social institution. Now, what does this mean practically speaking? Well, think about the education system. As we've talked about, you go into any school and you're going to see two key positions, student and teacher. And we might throw in some administration like a principal or a provost. But the basic role is going to, and position, pardon me, is going to maintain the same in any institution you look at, any educational institution. Not only that, but we know the role of each person in that position. Regardless of which teacher it is, you know the way they're supposed to act, they're supposed to educate you, to guide you, to give you the information. We know how student and teacher relate to each other, so that relationship really doesn't change a lot. So every time we enter into an institution, part of what it's doing is shaping and guiding our behavior. Once we move into the institution of education or into the institution of a hospital, we move into the position of either nurse or doctor or patient. And we know how to behave as a patient. Right? And we know our relationship to the nurse and to the doctor. Another example of a social institution. The other key thing we need to know about social institutions is they meet a basic social need, or they serve a basic social function. The education system serves the function of educating and inculcating culture and knowledge to our students. We'll look at some of the other functions it serves as well. The hospital as an institution serves to make us healthy and keep us from getting sick, or to treat us when we are ill. And so now look at your picture. Look at your picture of the family and think, what are the basic common things to almost any family? What are the basic positions? What does this tell us about what the family does? Often when I ask students to draw this picture, it looks something like this. Maybe there's one parent, maybe there's two, but in almost all of them, what do we see in common? Stick people, because none of you can draw. Just kidding, some of you might have drawn very elaborate families. But the basic thing we see in all of these is parents and children. So this tells us something about the key positions in any family. We also know the role that we play in each of these positions. But lastly, this can tell us a little something about the function or the need that the family serves. The family, particularly what we call the family of orientation, or the family we are raised in, serves to orient us towards society, to teach us the basic manners, norms, and behaviors we need to be functioning people in our society. They serve to socialize us and to teach us what we need to know, as well as to serve as a place of care and of love. So here we've defined the family in sociological terms. Basic elements are parents and children. Uh, the function of the family is to socialize and raise and care for those children, particularly the family of orientation, as we call it, and to make them reasonable members of society. Again, what that family particularly looks like, who occupies the position of parent, it might actually be a grandparent who does a lot of that work. That's not the important point. The important point is that there are people who occupy the position of parents and children. Next, we're going to look at some different aspects of the family.